Peace and welcome to the 5-Minute Review series, where we waste no time and get down to reasons to buy the game, or maybe the issues on why to avoid a game. Today we have a mod, Goldfinger 64 for the Nintendo 64. So this is the Goldeneye 007 game, but modded to be Goldfinger. It uses the Goldeneye engine from the controls like aiming, shooting, reloading, and anything else you can think of. The levels, the music, and the guns have been changed. So how does it compare? Well, first, let's talk about the controls. If you like the controls from Goldeneye, then you will like the controls in this. All of the buttons are the same, so you will be able to hop in and instantly know how to control everything. There's not much more to say here. When it comes to the rest of the game, the first thing I noticed is the brightness, or should I say a lack thereof. Usually I keep my TV on 50 out of 100 when it comes to the brightness setting. However, while playing this game, I needed to up that to 95 out of 100. Only then was it playable. I'm not sure why it's so dark. Maybe it helps the game run smoother because it doesn't have to process as much information. I'm not sure, but I highly recommend turning up the brightness. The next thing I must mention is the frame rate. My cap card records at 60 FPS, so what you see is captured at 60 frames per second. However, the game doesn't always run at 60 frames per second. Some of the stages are nearly unplayable because it gets so bad. I have seen it go as low as 10 FPS. It pushes my Nintendo 64 beyond what it can handle. It's not all the time, so I don't want to make it seem like it's constantly that bad, but there are times when it just bogs down to an almost unplayable level. Now the stages. A few of them are quite massive. You might end up searching around the stage for 20 minutes or more. There have been multiple times where I would wander around trying to find just one small thing to complete an objective. I understand Goldeneye had the same style objectives, but the stages weren't this massive, so you could make a mental map and remember exactly where you have been. While in this game, it gets a little bit out of hand. But that's only a few stages on the game. Usually they are a decent size, and I found it enjoyable. When it comes to the music, you will hear the Goldfinger melody quite often. I will say it's not as good as the Goldeneye music, but that soundtrack was done by 3 very talented composers. Most of it was done by Grant Kirkhope and Graham Norgate, and with the elevator theme by Robin Beanland. So don't expect the soundtrack to be as good as what they did. They are professionals and good at their job. With that being said, I find the Goldfinger soundtrack to be pretty good. I think they did a fantastic job, and it might be the best part about the game. There is multiplayer with a total of 11 stages, although I have not opened the last 2. Also, you will find many Goldfinger characters. I have 14 characters open so far. I am not sure if there is more or not, but I like the multiplayer mode, especially some of the choices of weapons. Hats and clubs, for example, is Oddjob's hat and golf clubs. Overall, the game is quite good. It isn't terrible, but it could use some quality of life tweaks. It seems to not be very optimized for an actual N64 console. If you play on an emulator, that would solve some of these issues. I, however, am playing on the N64 console. Goldeneye 007 had a perfect combination of map size and objectives. While Goldfinger is ambitious, it might just be a little bit too ambitious. I think scaling it back just a little bit would go a long way. Fans of the James Bond franchise will enjoy it, fans of Goldfinger will enjoy it, and fans of Goldeneye 007 will enjoy it. And I think hardcore gamers might be a little bit turned off because of the frame rate at times. I bought the cartridge. It's a good collector's item if you can find it. Before I purchased it, I saw it on sale on many different sites, and then when I went to go buy it, I couldn't find it anywhere. I know Eon Productions is very protective of their IP, so sometimes they will go and have them all taken down. If you see it on sale and you want it, I recommend getting it, because it might not be there next time you look for it. So my final say on this game. I think it's one of the best modded games I have ever played. A lot of hacks are amateur at best, but this one is definitely on another level than most. They did a really good job putting many things from the movie into the game. I do recommend this one, and I would give it the ICC stamp of approval. Last but not least, shout out to gold level patrons Bearsona, Quantum X, Chris Hayes, and Dimitri. I am ICC. Thanks for watching. Peace.